Hey, ¿qué onda, wey? Es mi tecuachecate en mi garaje, en mi troca, enfrente a mi casa. Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy KT here with another video with Swish Life. Today, I'm bringing you another video working on the Harley truck. If you guys saw my previous video, I did lower the truck 2 inches in the front and 3 inches in the rear. So it's a 2-3 drop. I did drive it for a little bit, you know, thought about how I like it. Is this the drop that I officially want? Or do I want it lower, or what have you? So I did decide I want to go ahead and make the truck level, meaning I'm going to go ahead and drop it 1 inch in the rear. How I'm going to do that is I bought some aftermarket hangers for the rear leaf springs. It's going to be the front of the leaf springs if you're, you know, of course the front of the vehicle. So the leaf springs are like that. It's going to be the front hanger. Of course, I'm going to show you guys the process of changing out the hangers, the leaf springs, all that jazz is going to be included in this video. And hopefully it gives you some good information, some knowledge before going into this project if you're thinking about doing it yourself. So of course, without taking any more time, let's go ahead and get right into the video. Alright guys, so here we are in the rear. You guys had seen me put in the 2-inch drop shackle from Beltec there. I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but you are able to use that secondary hole right below where the bolt is at. If you guys see right there. So if you don't want the complete 2-inch drop, you can get a 1-inch drop if it's a bit too much for you, or if you want to try the 1-inch and then go on from the 2-inch. As far as for me on this truck, I do want to go another 2 inches. I am going to have to replace this hanger here in order to do so. There is another way to drop it, which would be replacing the leaf springs. That would be a 3-inch drop. On the Harley Davidson Ford trucks, at least for the 03 10th generation models, they were lowered an inch through the rear leaf springs and as well through the front springs, so an inch all over. Technically, I am rocking a 3-inch drop. If I do additional 2 inches, it would be a total of 5 inches. But if I do the 2 inches here, the 1 inch in the springs with the Harley Davidson springs, and just move that bolt to the lower point, it would be 4 inches, making the truck level. If I have it at 5 inches, it would be sitting an inch lower in the rear, which it's something some people may like, but me personally, I don't like the way they look like that. So I'm going to show you guys how to get this hanger off. So before I touch anything as far as for the leaf springs and the frame, I do have some weight supported with the jack here a little bit, and I do have some jack stands on each side that is supporting the actual frame itself. So now what I need to go ahead and do now is take off this nut and bolt that does connect the leaf spring onto the hanger. It's probably going to be a bit tight, so prepare to have some breaker bars, or if you do have some air tools or electric tools, go ahead and use that. So let's go ahead and get this loosened up. Went ahead and got the big nut and bolt out for the leaf spring. As you guys can see, it is resting against that hanger. Next thing we got to do is take off these rivets. There's different ways you can take them off, either with a blowtorch, plasma gun, or air chisel, a combination of both. What I do, I use a Dremel to make a straight line in them, and then I hit them with like it's kind of like a crowbar and a mini sledgehammer. May have a hard time over here just due to it's close to one of the body points where it mounts up on, so I may have a hard time trying to get in there. But let's go ahead and see what we could do. Oh, you guys can see I put a line through those rivets right there. I'm gonna try to get them out. That other one over there, I don't know if you can see it. There's that lower rivet there. Then there's the upper one. A little hard to get to, but hopefully I can break them free pretty easily. Alright, so you guys see with the mini sledgehammer and that crowbar, I did manage to break these off. Not really that hard to break them off, to be honest, if you have a good hammer and you're hitting it pretty good. But the problem I'm having is that the side exhaust right here and that little Nerf bar, really not the Nerf bar, but the side exhaust really is making it difficult in order to hit those rivets out. You guys can see right there, right here. So I really got to try to slide under. If the truck was lifted on an actual lift, you know, I could just put the crowbar right underneath and hit it upwards. But unfortunately, you know, I'm working in the driveway and I don't have that convenience. So now that I know I already need an air chisel, you know, what's the point of breaking off the other side manually if I'm gonna need to get an air chisel and it'll make it much easier. So that's what I went ahead and did. I did buy it, and so I'm gonna go ahead and put it to use. So here we are on the driver's side. I need to go ahead and take off that nut as well on this side, and I do have a bracket there that holds on to the e-brake line. It just kind of directs the e-brake line so it doesn't get tangled up anywhere. But still, on this one you got two of those rivets on there. You got two right there, and then you do have the other two over here, but it is a bit easier to get to them just because you don't have that side exhaust over here. Firstly, going to take off the nut and bolt. You guys see I did make the cuts right there, and then on the other side as well. See, this one I don't have the side exhaust, so it's a bit easier even with the camera. But I did take off that bracket for the actual e-brake cable. That bracket will go back on, but just letting you guys see, we're gonna have easy access with the air chisel, so it shouldn't be a problem on this side. Alright, as you guys had seen how to bring out the torch, actually should have started with the torch from the first part, but the holes are completely out. You do see where part of the torch did hit the frame, but it's all good as long as it bolts up on there. I think I'm gonna go ahead and sand it down and paint it before I put on the new hangers. Here is the new hanger. This is a 2-inch drop. And this, I got this from McCoy or McGuffey. I don't know how to say the name, to be honest. It's like MCGHAUGHY. I don't know how to say it, to be honest. But there's the original one, and you can see the leaf spring is going to be brought up higher in order to bring the suspension closer to the chassis. But I just fitted it up and making sure the holes align, which they do. Now I gotta get the driver's side, but there is the gas tank in the way, so may have to see what I do about that. You know, don't want to heat it up or cause any fires, so gonna go ahead and start on that driver's side.
Chuki got the sauce, bitch.
Alright guys, so I had a hell of a time taking off these rivets, but like I said, I probably should have just started with the torch from the beginning. I didn't expect them, because usually I could just knock them through, to be quite honest. As you guys see, I did knock them through with the torch. I did hit it with the air grinder, just so I could get some of that slag off of the holes. Now if you see, I did kind of get part of the frame, but it doesn't really matter, you know, as long as the bolts go through, it holds it where it's supposed to be. That's what it's supposed to do, you know, so I'm not really tripping about that. But of course, if you guys want to get it perfect, there's you could take slower routes, or however you guys feel the need to do that. But as you guys see, it is bare metal. This is what I used. I used lacquer thinner on it, which took off the paint, the grease, and everything on there. So now I really want to hit it with some epoxy paint, let that dry before I put the brackets on, just so we don't have any rusting issue on the frame. You know, after hitting it with the torch and everything, it kind of looked like a little bit of a war zone. Got to do the other side, the passenger side, so let's go ahead and get on with that.
Chuki got the sauce.
As you guys can see right there, I do have a little bit of some things taped up just so I don't get some overspray. This is the paint I'm going to be using, VHT epoxy paint. It says on there rust and salt resistant, no primer needed, all weather. So this is really what you want to use. You know, don't really have time to prep it up like you would body work. Of course, there probably still going to be a little bit of greases on there, what have you, but epoxy paint is pretty much made for like suspension and frame parts. It's pretty resistant to chemicals and what have you. But it doesn't have to be prepped up the cleanest, but I mean, for the most part, you guys see it is pretty clean overall. So I don't have a doubt in my mind it's not going to have a problem bonding onto the metal. Alright guys, so the paint has dried. It's not the cleanest paint job, you know, because I am limited on space there. So I do have a few drips in there, but it looks alright, you know, it's not going to be seen. But anyway, so that is all good to go. I did put the hoses back on here. I don't think I talked about this, but the way I got the rivets out of the frame is I had two pieces of metal, probably like an 1/8 inch thick. You know, I just had it laying around. I got the gas line and I think the brake line and some electrical wires is back there. I managed to move them out of the way and put the sheet metal in between, so whenever I hit it with the torch, the flames or the sparks wouldn't go through and hit the gas tank. So that's how I got that out. I did it for each side because you do have a bracket that's behind the frame, and you know, it just happened to be the perfect size in order to put them behind there. So that's how I got that. Everything is painted up, so I'm not going to worry about any rust happening. Here is the lower hanger here. I got the bolts, the washers, and the nuts ready. And like I showed you guys on the other one, this hanger is moved 2 inches higher, so that's how it gives you that drop, putting it closer to the body. But for the part number for the hangers I'm using, there it is right there, guys. So that is for the 10th generation trucks, F-150 trucks. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this hanger on. Alright, so as you guys had seen, I did install the brackets and I did put on the leaf spring, and this e-brake line was a pain to put on, but I did manage to put it on. Now I need to do the rear shackles. I need to move it one lower hole down here on the shackle because it is a 2-inch drop, and like I said before, the Harley is already dropped 1 inch from the leaf spring, so I don't want a 5-inch drop. I want to go ahead and get a 4-inch so it's nice and level. But there it is right here, driver's side, and then here is the passenger side. Everything looks nice and new, installed as it should be. Alright guys, so here we are, hangers fully installed. That took a lot of work, to be quite honest, so be prepared. Hopefully you're watching this video before you do the job, but if you did it before you watch this video, then hopefully you found out the right way and hopefully you had a torch. There's the rear shackle, the Beltec. I know it's pretty dark with the sun over here. Let me show you the other side. You can see it right there though. Here we are on the driver's side. Hanger looking good. And here we are on the driver's side with the rear shackle all tightened up. So now to just throw the wheels on it. Alright guys, so here is the truck as it sits now. It is completely level. You got 2 inches in the front and then a 4-inch drop in the rear. Completely level. Like I said, I did have to raise it up an inch from the shackles just because if I had the full 2 inches, it would be sitting in the rear an inch lower. Well, alright guys, I know this was a bit of a lengthy video, but to be honest, I spent tons of hours just trying to change out these hangers. Usually I would just grab a good sledgehammer and pop those rivets through, but I guess the frame was binding and everything, and I don't know, it's just a thicker frame. There's like 2 pieces of metal stacked on top of each other, and then the rivets holding the frame and as well holding the brackets. It was a bit tough, so that's why I really had to bring out the acetylene torch and go ahead and just blow them out. But of course you got to take your precautions as far as for not trying to burn any wires, not trying to set anything on fire, not trying to set the truck on fire as well. So hopefully it gave you guys a good bit of information and on what to look out for if you are going to do this job or if someone else is doing the job, just so you have that knowledge behind it. But good thing I was able to get that completed. The truck looks very nice now. You guys let me know down in the comments below what you think of the truck and how it's sitting. I don't think I'm gonna lower it anymore. I don't know, but as for now, I'm just going to leave it as is. And of course, right now I still have the $200 giveaway going on. So if you guys see I haven't reached 5,000 subscribers, all you have to do is drop a comment down below about anything, and I'll go ahead and put your name in the entry to win the $200. So make sure you guys go ahead and comment and give me a thumbs up, and as well subscribe to my channel. Make sure you turn on the bell notification so you guys are notified when I do upload. If you guys been keeping up with all my projects and everything, I've been putting in a lot of work into these cars. To be honest, this is not cheap. This takes multiple days. Of course, you guys are seeing it through the camera, through the power of editing. So of course, if you guys have any concerns or questions, just let me know down below. I know I make it seem pretty easy on camera, but trust me, this is I'm killing myself out here, man. I do have some things cooking up real soon, so of course I'm gonna let you guys know on that. Make sure you follow my Instagram and Snapchat. You could always contact me through there as well. But alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. Like I said, I know it's a bit lengthy, but thank you if you stayed to the very end. I do appreciate all the support and all the views that you guys give me. But alright guys, I'm going to have to catch you on the next one, alright?